Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anisa and let's get right into the video. So this is going to be a quick little video on how to apply and remove polygel. So I'm using the Beetles polygel. The link to it will be down below in the description. And all I'm using is 91% alcohol to use as my slip solution so the brush does not stick to the polygel and I can push it around. And polygel does not set or cure until you put it in the light. So after I'm done perfecting it and getting it the way I want it, I'm going to go ahead and cure it for a full 60 seconds. Also, this is a random Makartt brush. All links will be down below in the description. Thank you for Tink Jones for asking the question about if I have a video on polygel. Recommendations like this help with video ideas, so if you have any more questions, let me know and I may make a video about it. This video will primarily be in real time, and I will also have some timestamps in the description, so you can go ahead and skip to whichever part you would like. This was in real time and I was messing with it a lot until it was heating up a little bit so you can start to see it changing color. But after I'm done with that, I went on and I'm showing you guys two different ways. One on how I applied it to my natural nail and then another on how I did it with the tip, as you can see. And polygel does go by a different name, but it just depends on the brand. And some brands you cannot soak off. So just make sure when you're looking up polygel or acrygel or anything like that, see if it says soak off or not, because if it's not soak off, then you will have to file it off. But if it's soak off, then I will show you how to remove it coming up soon. So now I'm going to be explaining this part in real time, so sorry for any odd sounds. There's multiple ways of soaking off your nails. You can use this little soak off bowl. I'll have it on my Amazon, but I'm pretty sure you can find this at Sally's or Walmart or anywhere like that. It's just a generic soak off bowl. Even your local nail supply store has this. Or you can alternatively do cotton balls and foil and do it that way, but I prefer this way. So all you do is you put water that's warm, kind of hot, but not boiling. Never do boiling water because you'll just have to add cold water to it. You don't need too much water. And this is because my sink actually runs very hot. So this is just water from my sink. And then you put this, make sure the water comes to a good level so when you put your hand in, you can kind of feel like the water a little bit, but like the heat from the water is what you want to feel. So it needs to be around these parts down here, if that makes sense. Because if you have water that's like all the way down here and it's not really touching anything, then that doesn't really help you. So if you have longer nails or you have a tip on, as you can see I glued a tip on, you can decide wherever you want to cut it. If it's like your natural nails and your nails are just long, you can decide not to cut your natural nails at all. But this is a tip, and even if it wasn't, I would probably still cut it down. So just cut it kind of at a safe place, nothing too crazy. So I turn my hand over so I can see where I'm cutting it. And then I go ahead and I cut it. And because it's longer, you want to go in from side to side. You don't want to try and clip all the way across because that's not going to work. And you want to be mindful of where your actual nail is. Drill. You're going to be filing your layers of top coat and polygel off, or gel polish and polygel, to as thin as you can get it, so that you can go ahead and soak it off in a relatively fast time, because it's kind of sticky when it soaks in acetone. So it's just a little bit more difficult to remove than like actual acrylic, because acrylic just flakes off, and hard gel, you have to just file it off. So I'm actually going to be using my nail drill, and I'm going to remove it that way. And I'm not going to remove everything. I'm just going to remove as low as I can without getting to my natural nail. And for you, that might be different. But the top coat or gel polish layers have to be removed when you soak it off. Also, if you're using something like a glass bowl or like even these little two-piece soak-off bowl that I have, in order to get rid of the acetone, you do not pour it down your sink. You use a paper towel and you soak up the acetone with the paper towel. Then you throw the paper towel in the trash, and then the water at the bottom is just water, so you can pour that down your sink. Due to the color you use, it might be easier or harder to see your natural nail. This color I use is a temperature changing polygel from the Beetles. So as you can see, when it gets hot, it's white. So it kind of blends in with my natural nail a little bit, as you can see. And I also stopped a little bit short of, like right here, there's nothing here anymore, like up here. But right here, this is still all polygel. I can see myself, but just because, you know, there's some people who might have a little bit of a harder time seeing where their natural nail is, especially if you're a beginner doing it, I left it a little bit thicker than it's 100% pure acetone by Beauty Secrets. I think the acetone, its name is Onyx, and it's a woman-owned brand, and I used to see it in H-E-B all the time. I don't know if they still have it or not. I think they do, because I think I ordered some online a couple months ago. That acetone is the best acetone to me because it gets it done very quickly. But depending on what method you're using, if it's the cotton ball and the foil, all you do is you put acetone on the cotton ball and wrap it up really, really tight with the foil, and you go ahead and sit, and you can do whatever you would like. You can also find plastic clips that do the exact same process as the foil. Then with this, you can go ahead and put a towel over top because it helps trap in more heat. And then you just sit for as long as you think you need. You can start with like 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 15, and you just sit here. Or if you have the other methods on, you can get up and walk around. If you want to, you can do other stuff, and then you would come back and do the next part that I'm going to show. So now that these have soaked off some, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can scrape up any or push off any. If you are not comfortable with like a metal pusher, you can go ahead and get a plastic one. But as you can see, this is just flaking off. Sometimes, depending on what stage you pull it out at, it could be a little bit gooey and goopy, and also that depends on the brand of polygel or acrygel. But this finger, which I got like much lower, is pretty much done. This finger needs way more time, but I'm also going to rough up the surface again. This also helps get polygel off. Now I'm gonna soak for a couple more minutes. You can also find the pre-cut foil papers with the paper already on the inside ready for acetone. careful which way you use the cuticle pusher. Like if you're pushing it towards your actual cuticle, that could be very dangerous because you can go ahead and like hit into it and it could hurt like really, really bad. So I recommend pushing the opposite way, but sometimes you have to get that little like edge, but I really recommend doing it the other way. Okay, so now everything is off. I went ahead and did that third soak as just like a safety measure, just to make sure everything is off. And now, if you're going to start a new set, this is the perfect base because your nails are dried out and you don't have to really do too much. You just have to go over and remove the shine again and then go in and do your next set. But this is the perfect base for it. But if you're not, you can go ahead and you can also use a buffer and make sure everything's removed that way. And then you can go in with some oil if you're not going to go in with another set, because if you go in with oil and you're going to go in with another set, then you'll have to really make sure you dehydrate the nail really well. But this is what my nails look like after the soak. As you can see, there's no dents or divots in my nail or anything like that, and so that is the way to soak it off. It really only took me 2 soak offs to do it, or 2 times in acetone, and then after that I was done. But that's due to the thinness after the first soak. Primarily this one was done. No, this one was done. So it just depends on how low you get it. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.